Hey folks, Phil the Bee-Man here. It's feeding time. The winter is continuing to winter. Still got the toque on. So by this time last year, spring was in the air. I think I had the first bees out March 4th. It's last day of February today. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near that. So the last couple of years I fed in winter and then kind of regretted it when the bees were out early anyway. This year I'm hedging my bets on bees out traditional timing, which is the last week of March or the first week of April. So time to feed. I want to do two things. One is prevent any starvation, and two, give a little stimulation so they start to brood up a little bit. So I want a thin sugar syrup. I have here a tote of fairly heavy syrup. It's 67% filled straight off of the tanker truck. And so I need to water this down. And so just thinking about the calculations on that, what I did was I measured, it's a square tote. So, I mean, with sugar, you can calculate Brix, you can calculate molarity, you can do some real fancy chemistry if you wanna, but you don't need to. I got a square tote here. I wanna know how much water am I adding to take the concentration from 67 down to 50%. So I just measured in to the average level of the water. The tote's on a slight tilt because my floor is set to drain. So in the middle, 57 centimeters, 22 inches. And so here's my calculation. 57 inches on a concentration of 67% or 67 over 100 will be the same as 50% over what height? So I'm solving for H. Multiply this out, gives me 38.19, and then 50 over 100 is the same as 0.5. So basically just double this, 76 centimeters. And so I've made my mark up here. That's my fill level to get to 50%. Simple math. So rather than screwing around with volume and weight, like to calculate molarity or Brix, you have to know the weight. I don't want to bother get the scale out and everything. So I'm just doing this purely on volume. In fact, not even on volume, just on height of the column, knowing that because it's a square column, it's not changing other variables as it gets taller. So that's all that. And then, so I'll fill it up now and then I'll show you the next step, which is to mix it. Because I'm going to put hot water in here and that heavy syrup is going to want to stay on the bottom. It's not going to mix worth a hoot, but I got a trick for that. So I filled this tote with water up to and I apologize, I got busy doing something else and we got an extra little bit. That's okay. But now we still got warm water on the top. I can feel it warm to the hand. On the bottom, still quite cool. So there's been virtually no mixing. And my solution to that is to use air bubbling up, aerating it essentially to do that. Now, I have shown you this before, but let's just what I'm going to do is I have just a banjo fitting that fits into the tote, and I've tapped a hole and then put a fitting on there. If you really want to be fancy, you could put a valve or something in there. I'm always careful to make sure I don't let the air pressure in the air tank get low enough that it would flow the other way. So as soon as I hear the pump kick on, I'll turn the valve and let it build back up and keep the pressure positive here. So I'll put the air pressure on. But what I'm going to do is, I think it'll be cool, we'll see, to video this with my FLIR camera, and we should see the temperatures that are quite stratified to start gradually mix. So that's the plan. Okay, here we are with the warm syrup on top, cold syrup below. Had a little excitement with the valve that I'll tell you about in a minute, but here we go with the mixing. Hear my compressor in the background. Oh, you can see where my hand was. Also, I wonder if we can see this closer. So that heat is definitely dissipating around the unit quite a bit. It'll be worthwhile going to look at the back of this thing. Actually, more mix at the back than the front. Huh. We're getting pretty consistent now. So I'll probably give it one more stir with the air tomorrow morning before we put this to use. As I said, we had a little excitement with the valve. Well, you can see the air chugging up there. You can see it. And it's that buoyancy that causes the circulation. But this valve, I didn't notice it before, but it had obviously been repaired before. The original clamp should be under there, and someone had screwed this white piece of plastic on to hold down the top of the valve, and air pressure popped that off when I got a face full of syrup. So a couple gear clamps to hold that together will do for now until we empty the tank, and then I guess that's the last time around for this one. Okay, it should be all mixed up. Next step is to fill jars. We'll show you that in the next video. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great day.